Hi, Stacy and I are here to talk about a few things that are coming up in October. We want to talk about Jeremiah's Inn and Chopped Worcester. If you're a fan of the Food Network, they're having a local version of Chopped with local chefs, and it promises to be a great event. It's Monday, October 7th from 6 to 9 at Moronis Park in Shrewsbury, and it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic event and a lot of fun. So that's something to look forward to. Before we get to Halloween, and then you've got something that's going on for Halloween through October.
I just love Halloween, and I am so excited about a couple of the things we're going to be mentioning. This gentleman, Sean McNamara, started this small maze next to his house, and it was a haunted maze. And I remember calling about my son, because my son, as you know, has autism, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be too scary for him. And we had a really nice discussion, and now 3 years later, it has grown exponentially. It's now 120 feet by 80 feet, so it's like the side of his house that he does it at. He usually will do refreshments, like they'll have apple cider and donuts, things like that. And what's really, really cool about this, I mean, and I'll get into the maze in a little bit, is that they have a jar out there for Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services, which is absolutely phenomenal to be able to give back. And it has a witch hut, it has a skeleton graveyard, a spider's lair, a pet cemetery, a scarecrow, jack-o'-lantern area, and a haunted graveyard. And it's cool. It's about maybe 15 minutes or so to get through the whole maze. And there are parts that aren't too scary. There are other parts, depending on, where you're at. They do ask, though, because all the decorations are, pretty much appropriate for all ages, they will not tolerate blood, gore, weapons, or implied violence while people are going through it. So they really want to make sure that it stays family friendly. And it's at 48 Holando Drive. That's in Shrewsbury. So it's just a few minutes from Dean Park off Walnut Street. And they're going to be open on Friday and Saturday evenings starting in October.
That sounds great. And then for other Halloween aficionados, Haunted Overload in Lee, New Hampshire. Spectacular scares await patrons every October. It's all volunteers. They construct the sets, gigantic monsters, costume characters, all sorts of creations, spectacular sound and lighting, a twisted, terrifying, haunted trail through one of the spookiest patches of forest New Hampshire has to offer. Creatures and monsters, which I like, are drawn from legends and myths rather than morbid horror movies. So the gore is de-emphasized in favor of detailed costuming. So I think that's great. And again, that makes it more appropriate for families too. Mm-hmm. It was created by Eric Lothar in his backyard, started out in his backyard, and it outgrew the space back in 2007. And the attraction of Haunted Overload, again is what it's called, is now at Demerit Hill Farm in Lee, New Hampshire. So check it out, and we'll be back. Hoping that we treat everybody today with respect, tolerance, and kindness. Thanks for joining us. Till next time. Hi, I'm here today with Mike Matros from the Heroes Cup Hockey Foundation, Andrea Castanetti. And first of all, what is the Heroes Cup Hockey Foundation?
Well, the Heroes Cup is now coming into our 4th year as a tournament. It's the largest fire, police, military hockey tournament in the world. We bring in guys from all over the country to come play and support their own charity. So we have 110 teams that compete, trying to raise money for their own charity. On ice, they're competing for the Heroes Cup. Who's going to win their division? Off ice, they're competing all for their charity. So whether it's best parking, best whatever it might be, game times, these guys have the incentives to really raise a lot of money. And this past year, we raised over $500,000 for 65 different charities. And from that, the Heroes Cup Foundation was born. And the Heroes Cup Foundation is, runs these events to strengthen our first responder community, bring the guys together, keep them close together. And part of our mission is to support their charities, as also in addition to support some key elements facing the first responders, such as cancer support for our first responders, mental health support, as well as line of duty death support.
All right. So my question is, what prompted you to start this?
Well, I was tired of, I was running the Boston Marathon because a Boston firefighter had died, and I was running for his, Michael Kennedy, I was running for the Last Call Foundation. And I wanted to have a tournament to bring these guys together, because at Michael's funeral, I saw a lot of friends from around the world in the fire service, and I said, we need to find a reason to get together for out this. So in my marathon efforts, I said, let's just have a hockey tournament. So we had our first year hockey tournament under the Last Call Foundation with 54 teams, and overwhelming amount of support. And I was able to bring in a lot of friends from all over the place, because I was tired of seeing them at a funeral, to be honest with you. And that turned into, first year was 54 teams, and then after that we broke off and had our own foundation, because the event grew legs of its own to the point where it was 80 teams. Last year was 102 teams, and now we'll be capped at 110 teams in 2020.
I mean, that growth is amazing. You should be proud of yourself. And it's you and your wife that started this, right?
Correct.
And your kids, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Family affair.
Yeah, and that's what I love, especially, I run a nonprofit as well. And when you get the kids involved at a young age, I mean, they'll grow to obviously keep this legacy going. So good for you. You guys should be proud of yourself.
My son took it upon himself to want to grow a nonprofit group, if you will. The Musketeers group, and he has a group in school that he has all these kids, and they write a group of kids that writes letters to other kids to make them feel encouraged, make them supportive.
Awesome.
Oh, that is great.
Build on the buddy bench so everybody has a friend. And,
love that.
And so that kind of contagiousness I love, right? Because if there's anything I could teach my kids, I'd like to teach them to do better, to leave this place better than they found it.
Absolutely. And we always say kindness is contagious, and it's true.
Yeah.
And when you teach them young, they'll make a big impact in this world.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For sure.
So you guys are at the locations in Marlboro.
Our tournament's in Marlboro,
Okay.
correct. At the New England Sports Center, has 10 rinks and everything we need. All of our parties, we bring in a full concert set up there. We do 3-4 days worth of tailgating out in the parking lot. There's motorhomes lining the whole parking lot. It's
an event.
It's like a new a new tailgating event. It's Jimmy Buffett on hockey.
That's amazing. And right in Marlboro.
Right.
So it's right in our backyard. So now, how do you get the word out?
This whole event was started through $10 in social media advertising, and more or less with the fellow fighters, police, and military guys talking amongst each other, saying, hey, come on out.
Right.
Because you're a firefighter, you're a firefighter.
Yeah, correct. I'm a firefighter over in Sudbury.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So we have a very tight community, and so putting it out to guys, they're great. I had one of my friends who's runs a military foundation call me and say, hey, I have a couple veterans. We'll give you a lead-up game. We'll play some time. And all of a sudden became such good friends with them that he put it out to all his military community.
Amazing.
And before you know it, we had every branch of the military there. We had all these teams because they all talk to each other.
Right, which is great. And, firefighters are and police and, first responders are all tight-knit.
Yeah.
So that's, you have one person get involved, and then it's like, I don't want to use the term wildfire, but it's true. It grows, obviously, as it did in the last couple of years. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's great. The firefighters, 100 years ago, I worked for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. I think firefighters are still the backbone of MDA and have raised money for organizations.
Just in Massachusetts, they do over $1 million a year with the Fill the Boot campaign.
Yep. Yeah, the firefighters have been great supporters of community efforts like that. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit more about the different organizations, particularly in Central Mass, that you raised money for last year.
Yep. So it's a wide range, and that's kind of what I love about our teams. Right. So our top team raised quite a bit of money. Over 2 years, they've raised over $100,000 for one mission, playing for pediatric kids with cancer. We've had people play for kids with disabilities in sports.
Yep.
So kids who, want to get involved in sports, and it's a great group of kids. Other ones we've had from fallen police officers, fallen firefighters, to Shrewsbury's own resident, Ava Roy. We had teams playing for Ava Roy.
Amazing.
And we also had our team from Newfoundland playing for the Newfoundland Burn Foundation. They have a group that if any kid is burnt or hurt in a fire, the Newfoundland firefighters take care of them.
Incredible.
So this event in Marlborough actually raised quite a bit of money out in Newfoundland or
Which
out
is
in
amazing.
California
You would
or
have
out in
such
the
a
West
reach,
Coast.
right? You would think it would
that's
be,
super.
Massachusetts specific, but obviously not.
No, I mean, the amount of checks we put out, that we're mailing them all across the world.
Incredible.
So,
And what a
Gary-
unique event.
it,
To
Yes,
make it, a lot of people just do events and, kind of like one missions event, the buzz off. You have to have that little niche and that creative edge, and obviously that's what you have. And I can imagine what it's going to be like in 2 or 3 years.
yeah. Well,
So and the next one's in April, right?
next one's in April,
Okay.
April 24th through the 28th.
And are all your teams booked, the 110?
So we're at 65%
Okay.
capacity, I think, as of this morning.
Okay.
It fills up pretty quick.
Okay.
So once teams start, and we haven't even really put much word at all
Yeah.
about it. So we'll be at full capacity. Last year we had to turn away 30 teams.
Did you really?
So we turned away 30 teams because of scheduling and stuff that we
Right.
had committed for. This year we have the full facility committed for 110 teams. So
Amazing.
And your concept, you're doing something now with the Tampa team, correct?
yeah, I mean, hot off the press. So we
That's what we try for.
That's
yeah.
it. So we just actually just got back from Tampa, Florida. We're looking to have a satellite tournament with the Tampa Bay Lightning. That tournament will be a 36 team tournament.
Incredible.
And the winner of that tournament is getting free entry in Boston. So now they got to
Awesome.
come fly up here and come compete up here against 100 teams.
So great.
The concept is that of the marathon.
Right.
We're trying
That's
to
true.
base everything around that of the Boston Marathon, where the Boston Marathon, from a runner's perspective, which is what this all started as, believe it or not, I used to be a marathon runner. Still can be, but the marathon is a single event that raises millions of dollars for so many different charities under one event, under one organization, under one structure. Well, I'm sure everybody knows somebody who's run the marathon who's asked you, hey, can you support my marathon efforts?
Right.
Can you do this? I'm running this. And so we use this event as that platform. This is the marathon. Now, if you want to play in the Boston Heroes Cup, which is the ultimate, nowhere else in the world can
Yep.
have this 100 teams and this much entertainment going on, you're either going to have to commit to raising a lot of money for your charity,
Yep.
or you're going to have to qualify in another one of our tournaments.
That's great. So is your ultimate vision to have these all across the country as qualifiers?
Yep. So
Okay.
we're
So
looking
Tampa's
to
your
work with
first.
our NHL partners.
Okay.
The Bruins have been such a great partner to us, and we're looking to continue the relationship with NHL partners and places that have multiple rink facilities. So right now we're looking at Tampa, we're looking at Nashville, we're looking at Dallas. They want to have one over in LA, but the problem is they're handicapped with the amount of rinks they have
Yeah,
and
they don't have
facilities.
space.
They need a multi-rink facility.
Okay. And I was just made aware that there aren't many of those around here. Obviously, that's not my forte. I'm like, go to the Garden, because you think capacity-wise, you can hold a lot of people.
Capacity-wise,
but
yeah,
not
but
rink-wise.
we need rinks. Yeah,
Right.
not necessarily capacity as much as rinks.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because that would be a little bit of a limiting factor. But there are other communities, particularly those with NHL teams, that
Yeah.
have training facilities like
Yeah.
this, and
So-
where the schools are big into.
So we're starting to
hockey.
grow that out and starting to want to keep that model going and have the NHL kind of be our satellite locations to
Right.
do it, because it's good for everybody. And having the NHL exposure behind you helps our teams raise money.
Well, that's what I say all the time. As like a professional athlete, you have such a reach.
Yeah.
When I did that DCF event with the Bruins alumni, people just want to come out and just see them, and the kids are all in awe, saying, "Oh, you played for the Bruins," and it doesn't take much effort.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's such a huge impact, and to be able to raise that amount of money is incredible.
Oh yeah, and so I mean, from the Bruins as an organization, I looked at the Bruins as a big corporate, agency, professional
Right.
sports team, and then I got to knowing with them. They offered us a partnership. The first year that we had the tournament going on, we actually had an event going on the same time as the Bruins. So
Okay.
we had 54 teams playing. They had 20 teams playing in their Can-Am or their I forgot what the tournament was. It was a Pro-Am tournament,
Yep.
NHL alumni tournament, and so they were overshadowed.
Oh, okay.
And the Bruins we're the Bruins. What do you mean there's a bigger event going
Right,
on
right.
than us? So, but at that time, Bob Sweeney was walking around the event. He saw the event going on. He's like, "Who runs this? Because this
Yeah.
is this is crazy, but
Awesome.
we need to help out. And I was running around so much. My wife's like, well, we do, and my husband does, but he's like, here's my card. Tell him to call me on Monday.
Okay.
So Monday morning, I call him. We set something up to go see him. Then very next week, they give me a partnership offer. They're like, we want to elevate your tournament to another
Amazing.
level. So that word got out, and from all the current players to the alumni, they're, what can we do? How can we help? I mean, we made the announcement with, Tuca and Bergeron were the first ones who were all excited to make this
Incredible.
announcement. I mean, and, they have become a family. They're like a family business. I mean, Brad Marchand went public skating with my son.
Oh, that's
like,
amazing.
This
Oh,
is
that
kind
must
of
have made his whole world.
This is just, but they treat it like a family affair. They're like, how can we help? What can we do? How can we get involved? And from top management all the way down to the Bruins, it's very much a family-based business, and that's how they run it, which is really kind of cool. And it's nice
listen,
having that as a partner.
You need to be proud of yourself for what you've grown in such a short time, and I'm excited to watch your
It's fun.
success. So
I love it, and
and
hopefully
you're
we
changing
can.
lives,
Yeah, you really
and
are.
that's a big thing to say.
Our tagline is strengthening the first responder community. So
Awesome.
that's in many ways. It means strengthening, keeping guys healthy, keeping guys alive, keeping guys active, strengthening the community, and strengthening the bond of the first responders. Bringing them together for this definitely strengthens the bond,
Right.
and
Such
the
a
brotherhood.
necessity. Do you have a website?
We do. HeroesCupHockey.com.
Okay.
And also HeroesCupFoundation.com.
Okay.
Has two websites. Heroes Cup Hockey is all about the event in April.
Okay.
Heroes Cup Foundation will tell you everything that we're doing as a foundation year-round, such as the golf tournament that's coming up on
Perfect.
August 20th.
Good, and they can find you on social media as
Yep.
well. It's
Yep.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for all you
Yeah,
do.
great. Thank you
No
very
problem.
much.
Thank you for having me
Yeah,
in.
of
This is
course.
great.
Great to meet you.
And we'll be right back. Hi, I'm here today with Gary Grindle, Park and Rec Department Supervisor.
Yes.
All right, got that right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We want to talk about what your department is doing this fall, what kind of programs, activities for people of all ages. So tell us a little bit about what's coming up.
For the fall time, we have all kinds of kids programs. We have adult programs. Some of the kids programs we do. One of the new classes that we've offered in the last year has been archery class, and
Oh,
archery
really?
has actually
Ah.
taken off. It's been well received, and everybody likes the program. So we usually get anywhere from 12 to 16 kids that will play on Thursday evenings after school. We do it over at Floral Street School. So if we have somebody that's in the extended day program, we can actually take and pick them up, bring them back after the program. So that's worked out really well.
Oh,
The kids
neat,
definitely
neat.
like the archery program. Some of the other programs we offer babysitting courses, home safety courses for the kids.
That's important. A babysitting course, I think, is important now.
It's great. So we offer the babysitting courses for grades 6th, 7th, and 8th, and it helps. You get these kids to get the certification. We have a certified nurse from UMass that comes over and teaches the class for us. So the kids take and go through, and we have parents that are looking for babysitting helpers. It gives them that opportunity to get the experience, and then later on, if they're in high school, they want to take and babysit, they have that experience behind it.
Doesn't it also emphasize that babysitting is kind of an important responsibility? It's not just hanging out over at the other house and having pizza.
Yeah, or-
There's a responsibility, and by having a class, I think
Yep.
that's important.
And it teaches those kids, it gives them that guidance and the comfort level, so when they are in that position, that they know what to do.
Great.
So, some of the other programs we offer are like social etiquette classes, which is great. So a lot of it is like dining etiquette also, where you work on at the dining room table, like where's the silverware go, how to act, prim and proper. So that's actually done very well in the past. We started offering that about a year ago, so that's done very well.
Oh,
And then we
geez.
have social etiquette classes also about how to talk, how to look somebody in the eyes, mannerism. So these are programs that we're offering that are educational, but yet parents want them. So
Sure,
it's worked
sure.
out really well.
Sure. Yeah, that's hard. And it's home safety, is that something you
home
mentioned?
safety. So the home safety class is for the younger. So I think we start off at like 8 or 9 years old, and it teaches kids like how to be safe, what you need to be aware of in your surroundings.
So that's great.
Some of the other courses, we start prepping for basketball for the wintertime, so we'll start doing basketball registration, and then we offer a skills and drills program for kids that are entering 3rd grade and 4th, and then 5th and 6th, so that way if we have kids that are looking to advance their skills, work on what's going on, so we offer a program during the week that helps them prepare before the league starts, so that way they
that's
get
great.
comfortable.
Yeah.
We have a lot of kids that haven't played before, and we teach them some of the basics, get them involved in what's going on. So once they go on the court, they're comfortable. They know
Sure.
what's going on.
Sure.
So,
And you have a lot of young people in your basketball program.
yes, we
right?
usually have over 600 kids that play the basketball program, and we start with first graders, first and second graders. We have a Tiny Tykes program.
Oh, that's
So we offer that on Monday nights, and it gets those kids the opportunity to learn how to dribble, learn how to shoot. We try to teach them the right techniques, and once they go into the league in third grade, they know what's going on.
Oh, that's great.
For the league itself, we offer third through ninth grade, and we have 4 nights of practices. We have games on Saturdays throughout the winter. We usually start up after Thanksgiving, and we have a lot of leagues. We probably have 50 to 60 teams that play in the league. So.
Wow. So the skills program prior to that starts when?
Yes, so the skills program usually starts the end of September.
Okay.
And we usually
So
do,
there's still time now to
so we
sign
usually
up.
do 7 weeks of that program, so it gives those kids that skill building before they go into the league itself.
Okay.
So it works out well.
And for the real young,
For the real young kids, we usually start that at the same time as the
Okay.
basketball season, and we usually give them 7 to 8 weeks for the Tiny Tykes program. And
that's-
it's great to see 40, 50 kids blow the whistle and they all look up at you and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And then let's start stretching, let's start doing this, let's start working on dribbling, passing. These are all the techniques and skills that you want the kids to have when they go to
sure,
basketball league.
sure. Sort of the basketball equivalent of t-ball.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So we have big bins full of the small little basketballs for the kids. So
Oh, that's great.
it's great to see the kids that
That's
are out
great.
there.
And then what else for adults?
For the adults, we actually take and offer a multitude of yoga classes that we offer. We offer Zumba, Tai Chi. We do men's basketball a few times a week. And volleyball has been the big thing in town. We actually have 3 nights of volleyball, and we have probably close to 100 individuals that play volleyball with
Oh,
us in our
wow.
program.
Okay.
So we use the new Sherwood Middle School, and we got a couple of the volleyball systems that go into the floor itself, the professional systems all set up. So the play has been really good. We've really taken and improved on the program, and the numbers that we have show that everything is going really well with it.
Oh, that's great. And then the recreational basketball for people who maybe aren't as skilled, looking in the mirror, but just want to play.
Yep. We usually get 30 to 40 guys that come out and play with us every week for the basketball program. That usually we offer that in the fall, winter, and the spring. And that same group of guys, they take and hang out in the summertime and play basketball outside on their own.
Sure.
But it's a good group of guys that play basketball.
I have to ask, what do you run for people over 50? Recreational is there a basketball?
So for over 50, we still do the men's basketball. If you're in that, we actually have a few individuals that are over 50 that do play men's basketball
Okay.
every week. We have a
But
lot
not
of,
a separate league?
Nope, not a separate.
Okay.
It's all combined.
Okay.
I mean, the average age that we have for our basketball program is probably 40, give or take.
Okay. A lot going on.
We offer a lot of programs at night for the adults.
So, and this will be on the scroll as we've been talking. It will have been on the scroll. But to remind people, if they want more information, they should go to the website.
Yep, they can go to our website. We usually list all of our programs a few weeks before we start doing registration, and all that information for the Park and Rec program will be up very soon with that.
Great.
Our website, you can always give us a call at 508-841-8503, and we can answer any questions that you have, programs, what we're offering, times, dates,
Great.
everything along the lines
All
like
right.
that. So,
So get involved and have some fun.
absolutely.
Great. Well,
Be
thank you
active.
for sharing all this.
Thank you.
Hoping that we treat everybody today with respect, tolerance, and kindness. Thanks for joining us. Till next time.